Welcome back, everyone. This is Mandy, and I'm trying to make some siblings for that coaster. So I figured I would just do it on camera. I made that a long time ago. I'll try to remember to put the video. So these are Hexagon coasters I got at Home Depot a long time ago. And I sped this up a lot. So that's Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold from Colourarte Vivid Intense, and it's too thick, so I really need to thin it down. And I'm using mostly the same colors as that coaster. I did swap out one color, maybe two colors with something similar that I already had mixed up because I need to use up paint I already had mixed up. And that is Indanthrene Blue from Holbein. In the original coaster, I used Indigo from Matisse. They're kind of similar, so I went with what I had. That is Claret from Colourarte PrizmPour. That is Blushing Pumpkin from Colourarte. It's a primary element. Had my hair in it. And I will say I made 3 beautiful coasters. Thought they matched when they dried. These were much darker, so I'm probably going to have to make another one. I may just give up on creating friends for that one and just sell it single. So this is Blue Velvet. PrizmPour from Colourarte, and maybe you got a little heavy-handed with the Blushing Pumpkin. Then we're going to do Australian Red Violet from Matisse, one of my all-time favorites. And then we're going to do a little squiggly of titanium white under a lamp black cell activator. And the titanium white is mixed with the regular bloom pouring medium. That is the Colourarte Vivid Intense color. And this is a lamp black cell activator, which is using M-Gram lamp black and Australian Floetrol. Don't forget, I do have a 20% discount for Colourarte listed below in the description box, which is Mandy1120. And for Aussie Floetrol, I get that from Pixel Paint Designs, and I have a 10% discount code using Mandy10, I think. And all of that's in the description box. Sorry about my head being in the way. Look at all my gray hair. You can really tell. Okay, so really beautiful colors. Didn't do the greatest job blowing it out. In case you're wondering what that is that I'm using to break up the middle, I'm just blowing into a turkey baster gently to break up that additional cell activator. I love the way these turn out. But they are much darker than the one that I'm trying to make friends for. So yeah, probably not going to work. But they'll be beautiful. My paint was very thick though, so as they dried, there was a couple small cracks, but I fixed that. You know, that's what happens when you thin out paint that's been mixed up for such a long time. It just kind of comes with the territory. But basically I'm going to do 2 of these coasters with you. And then I did the other one off camera. But then I was like, well, I had mixed up some wine and roses that had been mixed up for a very long time and was almost not salvageable. And I had thinned it out. So this is the first one. Really pretty. They do dry a lot darker than that. Anyway, here we go again. Nickel Azo Gold. So on the last coaster that's kind of thrown into this video, I kind of kept using up some of these colors, but I swapped out the Claret for the wine and roses. And I switched to square coasters. And I basically made another set. But I think I ended up taking out the Indanthrene blue and just using some of the other colors. I was like, these colors need to be used up. I'm just going to keep going. And then I ran out of time. And then when they dried and I put it next to the first one, I looked at these Hexagon coasters and I was like, these don't match this coaster. I was like, oh, I swear it's like you go to start making coasters and then you think, I'll just do 1 or 2, finish them later. Nah, it never seems to quite work the same if you don't do it in the same sitting. I like it does, but it's like you get in a flow and you mess it up somehow. I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, I was having a good time making these anyway. I had a crazy week, and I was like, I need to restock some coasters. I need to use up some of this paint that's been sitting here. I like hate for paint to get too old to be used. Sorry about my head. And have to waste it. Like, I hate that. And I always have so much of it mixed up. And so, I was trying to revive paint in full intention of using it just to make some coasters, if nothing else. And I probably spent hours trying to get it mixed up so the bubbles could settle, and the things you do. So it's always so nice to look at something that might be on the verge of needing to be thrown out because it's been mixed up for so long, and then see something so beautiful come out of it as a result. It's kind of cool. Anyway, coasters are kind of fun anyway. People always like them, and they're like tiny little pieces of art. So, popping bubbles because there's a tremendous amount. And some did pop as they dried, and I had to go back in and kind of dot them with paint, which is annoying. But it was unavoidable at this point. And this is significantly sped up for you, so I wonder if you guys can hear my dog snoring. He is really going to town. Okay, so I'm just going to give it another good spin, and then you'll see a surprise added coaster just appear in this video. These are so pretty. Anyway, I hope you guys don't mind me video journaling with you. It really helps me to be able to refer back to it because I can have the colors written down, but if I don't see how I layered them, it's really difficult. Even when I do see it, sometimes I can't seem to reproduce it. It looks funny, right? When I'm blowing out the bubbles, it looks funny. It's like I don't see my face doing that very often, so I see my cheek bulge out like a chipmunk. Anyway, these colors are amazing. What's crazy is I think I made these coasters originally in 2021, and the paint that I was using, with the exception of the Claret, has probably, and the indigo and the nickel azo gold, has probably been mixed up that whole time. Like the blushing pumpkin, the blue velvet, that's crazy. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, so here's the surpriser. So this is the one I started doing with Wine and Roses instead of Claret. And I dropped the indigo. Or not the indigo, the Indanthrene blue. But I was doing these on square coasters. But look how cute that little guy is. So we're going to do one together and then I'll let y'all go. So cute and blurry. Okay. Okay. I was also almost out of pillow paint in my container. So sorry if I'm making y'all dizzy with all my movement. I was quite messy by this point. I think this was I don't know, the 5th or 6th one. Sometimes it's fun to just get some colors you need to use and make stuff with them until you run out of paint. It's just, these little guys can be time consuming, people always say, make sure you charge enough for coasters, and I get it because they're a lot of work, and so your material cost may not be crazy, but when you get them all ready, that's Wine and Roses, by the way. So you see how it's a little bit richer. It was very thick. One of my all-time favorite Colourarte colors, Wine and Roses. So we're skipping the Indanthrene blue. That's blue velvet. Probably using a little too much paint here. And the Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold is a vivid intense color. It's gorgeous. Okay, and then Blushing Pumpkin. And then we're going to do Australian Red Violet and some Titanium White. So almost the same color scheme, at least. And I was really loving the way the white was creating some contrast and interest. Super cool. So the main difference and why they didn't match the first coaster is the first time I did a puddle of white right underneath the cell activator. I didn't squiggle it around like that. So the white, the first time, kind of gently muted all of the colors. Well, I didn't really want to mute the colors, so I didn't do that. And so, as a result, not matchy-matchy enough to create a sibling for the original coaster. So the original coaster will continue to be a Rogue Warrior, most likely, even though it's really pretty. All right, that wasn't the best blow, but here comes my head. Sorry. I was using my tripod that's really low, so you guys can see my head just like right underneath the camera. You can probably count all my white hair. Just kidding. It looks so different when your head's just like right there. So we have way too much cell activator in the center, so I blew a little bit here to open it up. Probably a little too much, but it worked. Whatever. And we'll spin this guy out so you can kind of see the results. And then, you know, it's probably enough coaster sharing for today. Coasters are so messy. Look at all that paint. Oh, so many bubbles from that paint. These had a bunch of bubbles I had to clean up too, but I ended up making a whole set of the square ones, so I just need one more hexagon one. Now that I see the dry result doesn't match. I was trying to get something to go to the edge. I'm not sure. The corner, most likely. So these the colors darkened a little bit as they dried, so they look bright and poppy here. The dried results are beautiful, but they are a little bit deeper. So okay. Imagine how long this actually took, because I sped this up quite a bit. All right, we'll give it another good spin or two. So as you spin, sometimes you'll notice bubbles kind of start to pop or get to the surface. You want to pop them versus letting them grow bigger. We'll give it one more good spin. Yeah, these colors are amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, hopefully you like this color scheme together. This all started when I first did it because I wanted to do the blue velvet and the blushing pumpkin together. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a good day.